Hello there, and we are live. See, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it's another one. You know what? Yeah, this is episode 15 of the Brian and Claude show. See, yeah, guys, yeah. I don't want to talk too much in this one, yeah, because Ryan is going to be doing most of the talking, yeah, because he's going to talk to you guys because I've already talked about this Manchester United match. It's only fit for Brian Maguire to, take you guys through the emotions he felt that day, and even apart from the emotions, we're also going to look at, the FA Cup game we have on Friday, which is against Manchester City. And of course, the league, we have Everton, yeah, and it's a club in crisis. Come on, they're talking of Bielsa coming back. Everything is in crisis, yeah. So we just have to go down there and, just flush these guys off the drain, right? Good. See, yeah, I have Jordan Heyman. Jordan Heyman, on Monday was your birthday. I sent you a message on your channel. Jordan Heyman, happy birthday. Good to know that you're a year older. And thanks because you've since I knew you from Miss Melina, who is my very, very close to my heart, Miss Melina. Since when I knew you from her, it's been nice. You've always been popping to the show. So, Jordan Heyman, happy birthday, or do I've already wished that to you, and big ups to you. Andrew Bell, I saw your chant, yeah, when Newcastle won. Welcome to the show, Andrew Bell, my guy, Andy. Big ups to you and your family, man. Niall Kane. See, Niall, where have you been? Big ups to you, man. Niall. And of course, Miss Melina is in the show, guys. Miss Melina, big ups to you. It's love you, Miss Melina. And of course, Jordan is also here. He says, hi, Miss Melina. And of course, MUFC Global, my guy and my fellow collaborator. Big up. You know what? Yeah, it's the Ron and Cloud show. Brian Maguire, you're welcome to the show. How you doing, brother?
It's great, man. Great. Nice to be called a guest on my own show there, by the way. That comment there saying, hi, Tony and guest. I'm a guest on my own show. That's nice.
Yeah.
I'm a guest on Tony's channel. I'm a guest on Tony's channel. So that's fair enough. Yeah, man. I'm pumped up. We've got a great show. We've passed one of our tests at the weekend because we need to pass loads of tests. We need to jump through millions of hoops to be called challengers at least. We can't even, we don't even want to call us challengers at the minute. Never mind even contemplating us win it. But we passed one of our tests at the weekend. We've got the next test on February 15th. All good, man. All good. Pumped up. We're doing well.
But Ryan, when will all these tests stop? Like, when will all these tests stop? See, I'll take you through. See, Ryan Maguire, I have a drink here, See, Ryan here, you know what, I have a drink here, because, all these Manchester United fans, they like talking
Is it champagne?
Cheers.
Cheers.
No, I'm gonna be. Ryan got it, bro. Cheers, man. Because you know what? Yeah, we're going to be drinking the tears of all these Tottenham, Manchester United fans, and you know what, Ryan? On Friday, we'll be drinking and toasting to that Manchester City win. Trust me, we're gonna beat those guys on Friday. And without much ado, take us through your feelings and your emotions in that Manchester United game before we, go into more stiffer tests. And also after that, you have to tell us, because most of these people here, most of the critics out there, they're already giving Arsenal more bars to cross. I remembered 4 games ago, people were always saying, let's wait until you cross, Brighton Football Club. You have to go their way. Let's see, they're a tough team. And of course, when you come back, you have to make Spurs go to the White Lane, go get a result from there. And then you have to, Manchester United will visit your home front at the Emirates. get results from there. Then we can start talking. Ryan, we went to Brighton. We beat them 4-2. We disgraced Brighton. And mind you, Brighton is that team that has blitzed most of these teams. We went into the heart of our biggest and fiercest rivals in Tottenham Hotspurs. We flushed them down the toilet, completely made a public show of these guys, made them relics of the bomb in their own yard. That's how bad it is. Manchester United came into our yard and we showed them what the top dog was, and we steamrolled these guys, served them room temperature humble pie, and they took it. Ryan, what do you have to say? Where does this bar stop?
Listen, I said this months ago. They will just keep extending and extending and extending. They said no. They said we'll see where you are in November. Then it was we'll see where you are in December. We'll see where you are, and then it changed to we'll see how you play against this team. How you do against this team. How you do against this team. Like I said, it will go on until May. We'll see where you are in February. We'll see where you're at, blah, blah, blah. Listen, they put tests down. They put gauntlets down or whatever you want to call it. They said it'd be a tough game away at Brighton. Like you said, they said the tough game away at Brentford. That was a nervy game against Brentford. I thought after losing there last season and we go and smash them 3-0, do you know what I mean? And then we've had 2 games against Spurs now. Spurs are over and done with, 2 wins. We've had a test against Liverpool at home, which we've overcome. United are the only one to stick a bit of a dagger in, getting a victory at their place after we had a goal disallowed, and then basically played better. But doesn't matter if you play better; it matters about getting the victory. We say it all the time. And then so the second test, it was United at home. A lot of predicted us to lose. There's I don't know if you've seen it, but there's some guy's TikTok going about a month ago. He put it out and he said something like, "Rest in peace to Arsenal's winning the Premier League for so many months." And then he had a list of games to come for us, and it was i.e. the Tottenham game, Newcastle game, United game, and basically he had this full list of games. We dropped points in one by drawing. We won all the others. Like, what's he saying? That's a serious test for me. I'm like, what's that guy saying now? He's probably saying nothing. I'm not sure. Not sure who supports. Couldn't care, to be fair. But it's what it is. What it is. There's another game. We'll pass one of the tests, i.e., winning against City. There'll be a game the week after. That'll be the next test. Okay, you beat City, but beat these. Okay, you beat these, now beat these. It's just going to happen. They can't accept that we're title challengers. And then I think possibly most of the rival fans might now accept that we're title challengers. But like I've said, they're now going to ridicule us for losing the league. This is where it's got to now. So
that's where that's gotten to, right?
Yeah, we've gone past the challenge a bit. So now it's you've got to win it. So if we come second, that might be a laughable thing. Second is massive, where you see where we finished last season. So don't get it twisted. That second is a beautiful result, no matter how you look at it. But that's just how it's turned now. And now if you don't win the league, we're going to laugh or whatever. But we'll definitely keep challenging. We will definitely push it all the way. They will definitely keep extending this month to this month to this month. But if we beat City at home, and bear in mind, City have to win that game, not us. City have to win that game. City are the ones behind us. City are the ones. City are the ones behind us. Not as many points. They're the team that need to win that game. So we can. That's a positive for us to go into the game with. But we still need to beat them just to get these naysayers on the sides, these biased pundits, the rival fans. Listen, I don't care about getting rival fans on the side because they're rival fans. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to get on Tottenham side or Liverpool side, United side. You know what I mean? So that's fine. But these biased pundits who played for other teams that got smashed by Arsenal in their day every single week, these pundits that didn't get Player of the Year or player of the month because an Arsenal player took it off him. These biased pundits that still
all
put their
lots
teams
of them.
above us, even if we beat them. We'll probably never get them on our side either because they can't hide the fact that they're fans. See, like me and you do this. We'll discuss that. We'll discuss other teams. We're probably a bit biased, but we're fans. That's all we are. We're not saying we're professional pundits, but they are, and they still have agendas, and they still it's all politics to them. But like I said, they will keep extending. But they keep extending. I've said extending about 12 times. They will keep extending, but we will keep winning. We will keep pushing, and I can't wait for that parade day when we parade in the Premier League. Can't wait for it.
See, Ryan, when Rashford scored, there was chill in the room. I was having a watch along, and of course, my very, very good friend. See, Ryan, this lady, she's been a big part of this thing for me, and it's not a person than Miss Melina. I was to have the show with Steve Strasbourg, but he had his own thing going on, so only me was just here, and Miss Melina just decided to just jump on for me. That lady has been my backbone, down here. I mean, for this project, of course, big ups to her and God bless her in whatever she's doing. I really love that lady. And, she came around and we just started the show together. And while we were doing it, Rashford just scored. And I just remembered, me and her, and we're just like, we're pissed. We were livid at what was going on. And man, a hero came out, and bro, Eddie Nketiah. See, Ryan, there's a song blowing up for this guy,
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah,
your
great.
defense is in trouble. Nketiah in the room. Eddie Nketiah in the freaking room. See, Ryan, take us through what you thought about this. At the time when Arsenal Football Club needed an hero, we needed an hero to just come in from anywhere. It would have been just nice. It could have come from the gutters. It could have come from Mercury, for all I'm concerned. At the time, Arsenal needed a hero. And you know what? Eddie Nketiah showed up. What do you think about that?
Yeah,
Eddie Nketiah.
I mean, since the injury to Jesus, Nketiah has been an absolute revelation. He's just been superb.
Oof.
He has done everything we've asked and more. His passion on the pitch, his performances on the pitch, his work rate on the pitch, and grabbing goals in the big games. To grab the goal against United, it's all right scoring in the little games, but to grab the goal against United, to be in the right. I mean, it was close to goal. It was, but he needs to be in the right place at the right time. He needs to have the right mindset for it. He needs to have that attacking mind. Obviously, when you've got the ball at your feet, you've got a lot to think about. But when you've not, your positional play just takes it up. So, and Nketiah can do that. He can be that. What would you say? Fox in the box. That. The goal poacher, basically what Erling Haaland is at City.
At City, right?
And Nketiah's doing it very well. He's been an absolute revelation. It just brings the question now, when Jesus comes back, which I'm hearing might be pretty soon, what we're going to do. But not our decision. Thank God. I'm glad it's not my decision. But it's going to be a tough one. But it shows you we've got. If it's Jesus is playing again, we can bring in Nketiah on. If Jesus is on the bench, we can bring. It just makes life a bit. It just makes the Arsenal life a bit more. Breathe a sigh of relief because we thought
again, Ryan. But Ryan, that's a good problem to have. Like, this is the textbook problem that every team dreams of having, right? For your main, like, okay, good. Your main striker is injured. Of course, it takes time out. Of course, 2-3 months away. Of course, he has to come back and you know, get among the fold again and among the folks again and start, you know, trying to get his belief and trying to kick the ball again and everything and get that confidence boosted up. But right now, yeah, Arsenal can afford that luxury of actually allowing this guy to just relax. Like, Gabriel Jesus can actually relax, sit down, you know, sip tea. He doesn't need to come up, you know, we don't need to rush this guy. You just need to sit down, you know, have that pent that pent box at the Emirates, you know, just sit down, enjoy himself at home, you know, get to heal up properly while nketiah does the damage in the field. And you know what, yeah? It's not even only nketiah. Of course, and what can you say? Trossard, what a player.
He looks like a really good signing. Just
Ugh.
mainly, we needed, as we've said it for a while, we needed that strength on the bench, guys to come on, and add to the performance and just add maybe a different type, because he likes the second striker role, which I don't think we've really got on the bench other than Smith Rowe. Will fit into that role very well, but still coming back from injury and all that. So the Trossard signing made sense. It's a weird one on the age, because obviously we've not really signed anyone below 24 for about I don't know, it's about 2 or 3 years. But it's just one of them players that they knew we could bring in straight away. Premier League proven, doesn't need to get used to the league. He's already used to it. So and then he came on for 10 minutes and flashes of greatness for 10 minutes. Like nice skill at the ball, composed with the ball. He not overawed by the occasion, it didn't seem. So great signing. But like you were saying with the Rashford goal, I always expected United to score. I always expect to be a close game, because you can't forget that they're one of the farm teams in the league at the minute. Dodgy start.
Yeah, of course. I think in 10 games, they've not lost in 10 games or something like that.
Yeah.
Of course, it's in their wheelhouse to do that. And again, in the middle of the park, Thomas Partey lose its uncharacteristic of Thomas Partey to actually lose that ball in the middle of the park like that. He hasn't been doing that kind of thing this season. In fact, is one of the most solid ones in the middle of the park. But for him to just, you know, let that ball go, and Manchester United just blitz us with that first goal. It felt hard. And again, see, Ryan, yeah, I think actually maybe Arsenal panicked a little bit, because all the goals that Manchester United actually scored that day, they weren't highly worked goals. These were goals from calamity from Arsenal players, gifting them the ball. Thomas Partey gifted them the ball. Aaron Ramsey, instead of fisting the ball away, just parried the ball straight into the 18-yard area, and allowed the so-called butcher to have a flying header, and score that goal. You know, we just completely gifted them those tools. But again, Ryan, nketiah in the room. When you have that dude in the room, you just see, this guy has surpassed everything. Everything I've actually dreamt of this season. He passed all the tests.
Yeah, 100%. We've said it. I think since the first game he came in, it just felt like a different Eddie Nketiah. It felt like the player that knew it was his time, and this was his time now. When you've got a player like Jesus in front of you, you rarely get these chances. But if they're injured, you've got to take the chance. Get at it, and he definitely has done. He's just been incredible, and just mainly because we doubted him, and I know we did. We weren't sure. We wanted him to perform, didn't we? Because we obviously we love the graduates from the academy, and that we'd have loved him to perform, but there was them slight little doubts because we've seen him not perform. We're not just. It's not like it's not researched. We've watched him play and we've watched him be a bit. bit dodgy, but he just seems a different player. He just seems to have grown into it perfectly, and I'm all here for it. I think it's great stuff.
Yeah, and again, of course, the second part of that question, those mistakes from Thomas Partey and Ramsdale, just parrying the ball into the 18-yard box area, like, how did you feel during that period? Like, and how do you process that?
Yeah,
Just gifting the ball away to these guys.
He didn't make many mistakes. I think it might have been only one of 2, 3.
No, it's just one. It's just one. But again, strikers like Rashford, they only just
that's it.
See, they only just need one mistake to actually cause damage, right?
That's exactly what I was going to say. It was only the one mistake, but the quality of that United have at the minute, of some of the players they have at the minute, they only need that one chance to get the goal. Rashford's one of them kind of players. He's a quality player on his day. When there was talk of him leaving United, I was all for Arsenal trying to bag him up, because he's a quality player. He's one of them. It sometimes struggles with form, but form's temporary, class is permanent. And
he has been linked early this morning again to PSG. He's been linked again this morning to PSG. So I don't know. Me and Miss Melina, we have to talk about this in the transfer daily we might have on Sunday. I'm trying to bring her in for Sunday transfer window talk. But
United won't let him go.
PSG.
United won't let him go. They can't. It doesn't make any sense other than Rashford going on strike to leave. But I don't think Rashford will want to leave United. He's a United lad. He's a Manchester lad.
But does he have any loyalty to these guys? These guys the fan base of Manchester United. They shit on this guy's name. They wanted him out of the club. 3 months ago, they wanted this guy out of the football club. They wanted to boot him. See, these guys will take a helicopter and come get him and ship him out 3 months ago. And suddenly, that's what I'm saying. These fans are so fickle.
Well,
the way they are, they're so fickle.
Pretty much every club's got fickle fans.
Guys wanted him out.
We can't talk about fickle fans with some of our fan base. The fact that
you know what I mean?
We can't.
In our fan base, we even have those. Most of them wanted Arteta. Fan base, right?
Most of them wanted Arteta out. Some of them still wanted him out in November. We had some comments on here in November that have dried up. I've seen. None of them are commenting on him now. But there was comments in November wanting him out, not understanding the process one bit, didn't have a clue what was going on. Obviously, he must have been born 2 weeks ago, so didn't know what they were talking about. But a lot of our fans wanted him out then. Look at the Xhaka scenario. Every fan pretty much wanted Granit Xhaka out.
Every fan wanted him out.
No, not everyone. I bet Miss Melina wanted him to stay. I can guarantee that Miss Melina wanted him to stay.
You see, that Miss Melina's one, she loves
Xhaka. So
she
definitely
loves the dude.
And then we keep Granit Xhaka.
Out of space shit.
Yeah, then we keep Granit Xhaka, and he goes and wins Switzerland Player of the Year, which is incredible. Big up, Granit. Great stuff for that. But every fan base is fickle. United's... the manager, the coaches, everyone in the board, I don't think will want Rashford to go. From what he brings on the pitch and also to what he brings off the pitch, the way he just seems like a great person. He's a great advocate to have at your club and a great ambassador for your club. So I think he's definitely. And obviously they've got the murals of him.
But
still
again,
in
these
Withington,
loyalties have to be tested, right, Ryan?
What?
These loyalties have to be tested, right? Because how come when this guy wasn't scoring goals, the fans were asking for his head? They wanted his head on a spike. They wanted an helicopter. These guys would have rented an helicopter to come, hack him out of Old Trafford and shipped him out wherever they wanted him. Because, I even remembered many of their fans saying, he doesn't love football no more. He just wants to do charity. Imagine, do you know what that would have done to him mentally? But, everything has... But I still know that this thing still lives rent-free at the back of Rashford's head. He might actually consider that offer from PSG, big time money to play with, with fellow stars like Mbappe, to play with one arguably the best footballer ever to even touch the football ever, Lionel Messi. He can just go and have a good time in Paris with his girlfriend and do lots of charity work down there. Personally, I want him to go. I don't want him to keep strengthening Manchester United.
I don't see the move. I think it's a bit of a. I'm not sure exactly how many English players have played for PSG, and like obviously, I feel like Mbappe's. I don't think Mbappe's going to be there much longer. I really think he'll go to Real Madrid at some point. Obviously, Messi's going to retire at any point. He's about 44.
Any point, right?
I think I think it'd be obviously a great signing for PSG. Rashford, I feel like, could go to a better league. If he wanted to leave the Premier League, he could go to La Liga, playing La Liga. I wouldn't go to France if I was him, but like you said, they could throw all the oil money at him and see what happens. But
and see what happens, right?
Yeah, we could throw £1 million a week at him, couldn't they? You know what they're like.
Ryan, we have a friend of mine. He's a collaborator and a friend of mine too. MUFC Global. This guy, look at his comments. I left that comment there for you to see because I want you to answer this guy. Yeah, this guy is part of the Matrix. He's part of that old system. He's a Manchester United fan. He's part of that old archaic system. Working with Manchester United, full-blown Matrix guy. And this is what he's saying. Fair enough. You guys passed the test, but there's still a lot of games ahead. 19 games out of 30. You see, the bar keeps. Ryan, please. Of course, he came to comment on our show. So talk to this guy, please. Just talk to him.
So, yeah, I mean, we can't do anything but agree in the terms of the facts that there's 19 games left. Yeah, that's what it is. But like we're saying, everyone said we'll see where you are in January. Well, they said that after they said November and December, whatever. But now we're at January, 19 games left. So he's given us to the end of the season before he sees how we are. He's going to wait till 19 games. He's not going to wait till 9 games left. And with how many points clear. Like there was a comment somewhere about we've not had a dip in form yet. Like, why do we have to have a dip in form? Why? What part of the matches have you been watching that has shown you that we're going to have a dip in form?
Not. Are you serious? Dip in form?
There's
serious.
Nowhere in the performances have I seen that we'll have a dip in form. If a tsunami hits and 20 of our players all get injured, then we may suffer a dip in form then. But nothing in the manager or the players or the attitude or the atmospheres show me any reason why we would have a dip in form. They all say just wait till you lose a couple games. What makes you think we're going to lose a couple games? We've lost one. Like the way we're playing doesn't look like we're going to lose anymore. The fact that in recent times when you have the big teams play each other in the close games, say Liverpool and City, they've been draws, but we're playing our big games, the United games, the Spurs games, and we're winning them. So we're not even drawing them; we're winning them. And I think
we're not even drawing them. Yeah. But again, Brian, Arsenal have had the best start to a season that actually trumps the invincible season. See, these guys have beaten the record of the Invincibles. Of course, the only thing we won't be getting this season, if we win that title, is that we're not going through the whole season unbeaten. That's just the only thing. We've beaten every record that was set by the Invincibles, apart from being invincible. That's just the only thing.
Now, Arsenal have had, and possibly other clubs.
And again, the mentality. the mentality of this team to go or go down. See, and this is not the only time that they've done this. You remember when we went a go down against West Ham, right? You remember that? The game against West Ham. See, Ryan, many people don't usually look at this stuff, but this is very important for me because you get to understand more about the character of a side. Mostly a club like Arsenal Football Club that have lots of young players and lot of young games around there. You need to get to understand their mentality, their state of mind, how they go about when they go down. That's how two goes down. That's how you know that these guys are up for the fight in the future. And again, coming out from that West Ham game, responding back, beating those guys at the end of the day. See, we've even been to very, very tough games. You remember the game at Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park? That was the first game of the season, right, Ryan? Where we had to dig in deep. Many other teams would have, crashed out and bow down to the pressure. But again, in Selhurst Park, winning that game 1-0 against Fulham, bouncing back. You knew what Gabriel Magalhaes did, right? Straight, quick answer. Got back the goal. We won that match. Closed that up. You saw the one against Aston Villa. You saw the one against West Ham. Of course, scoring back after going a goal down. And again, this Manchester United one after Rashford scored. Nketiah in the room comes in, makes a total show of these guys, serves them humble pie, room temperature, and bro, tell me, how in God's name can critics and people alike not take this team seriously?
It's like you said, the mentality at the minute is miles better, because we have seen them in the past few seasons or the last decade. I don't know. If you go a goal down, sometimes I write the game off because I feel like we won't turn it around. We might have the chances, but we won't, and then it'll get too far into the game, heads will drop, and this, that, and the other. So the mentality at the minute has completely changed. We feel like like we can win. We still feel like we can win a game if it's if we're a goal behind or if it's drawing in the last 3 minutes. Because even last 10 minutes when we was drawing in the past few seasons, I did not expect us to get that winner. I believe I didn't think we was going to get it, but just now it seems completely different. It just seems the mentality, and I believe it can come mainly from the coaches and the manager that instilled this mentality onto the players, and the signings that we've brought in, your Zinchenko's and Odegaard. It was a new signing, pretty much. Odegaard has been made captain after a year. Zinchenko's come in, and he's got a captain's mentality on him. Zinchenko, he doesn't look it, but we've seen the video. We've seen the video of him doing an Arsenal talk. We've seen the video of him doing the Man City little team talk that he did. We've brought in these winning mentalities and these captain mentalities, and
this winning mentality, right?
Showing.
Exactly.
Yeah, it shows on the pitch. The two signings from Man City, the trophy winning players, they know what it takes to win.
It's nice you got into this topic, Ryan Maguire. See, scratch Gabriel Jesus is injured right now. Let's talk about the one that's in our club right now, playing right now. See, Ryan, Zinchenko. Have you seen that guy's passion? This guy's leading team talks in our dressing room. This guy is legitimately talking to these players, telling them that they could be winners. You guys can be centurions like me. No, see, because I really do feel like these critics don't know what Manchester City did for us. I really do think that Pep Guardiola got too cocky with the whole thing. He disrespected Arsenal Football Club. He disrespected us by giving us those two centurions. How in God's name do you give us Zinchenko? In what alternative reality does that work? I want to know the
No.
mathematics.
I
I want to know
don't.
the arithmetic
It doesn't
calculations
make
he
much
made
sense. It doesn't
to
make
actually
much sense.
this winner, this centurion, to actually come in to Arsenal Football Club. I really do think that Pep Guardiola went too cocky with the whole thing, because how dare he gives us that winner and cheaply? That guy cost us like 35 million pounds. Like, if I'm going for that guy, bro, if you don't bring in 55 million pounds, 60 million pounds, I won't give Zinchenko to you, because you're not just getting a defender. You're not just getting an Ukrainian. You're getting someone who actually knows football, who actually breathes football, who is a leader in and out of the field. That's what Arsenal needed. And Pep Guardiola just played into that book of mikelarteta. And look at it. We have a winner in our hands. Ron
It's
Maguire.
not. It's not just. It's not just signing a defender. It's signing a defender and a midfielder. He can walk into defensive midfield, centre
It's
mid,
cooking, Ron.
and
It's
and
cooking. It's
play.
cooking, guys. It's cooking.
He plays in. He can
They're in
play.
the port.
He can back up Xhaka in centre mid, defensive mid
Mm,
perfectly well. He moves up
yeah.
there, and that is the mentality that he's brought. The obviously the captain mentality surprised me. I didn't see. He looked like he might have been quiet, but I'd never
Yeah, he
speak
looks
on
like
that.
that kind of quiet guy in the room, right?
He does. That's what he possibly looks like. But I would personally
Yeah,
never speak on that because I don't know. I'm not there in the
yeah.
dressing room. Some
Hmm.
pundits will speak out and say, "Oh, he's a quiet player. He's not a captain or whatever." But they've not got all the information because they're not in the dressing rooms. But they still think they've got this godlike ability to see everything and know everything, so they can comment on saying that he's not a leader. And then you see him in the dressing room,
Yeah,
you see that passion that he's bringing. It shows you that he is, and that's one of the main reasons. Because we could have gone out and signed a talented left back. We could have signed any talented left
true.
back. But the reason Mikel signed Zinchenko is because he knew he was bringing the talent and he was bringing that mentality with him as well. And that's exactly
With
why he
him,
signed
yeah,
him.
exactly.
And possibly to
That
cover
winner's
Granit Xhaka as well.
mentality. Exactly. When others are going to celebrate, this guy's going to celebrate with the fans. He's riling up the fans. Like, see, Ryan, it takes someone who's done psychology courses to actually do what Zinchenko is actually doing. When we score a goal, yeah, he doesn't go with the band and go celebrate with them. He doesn't do that. You know what he does? He goes straight to the fans to rile them up, to have to have a connection with these guys, to bring to lift their spirits up, so that they will keep shouting for the next goal that's gonna come. To like this guy, this guy is a born winner. I don't know. Many people haven't really like gotten a grip into what Zichenko stands for in this football club right now. Probably might take maybe a season or two, before we get to really take it all in and really get to understand what that guy is doing. That guy's. I was so shocked seeing him in the pre-match ritual, giving these guys a talk, like a serious talk.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
You can see
celebrations with
it.
the fans. It's connection with them. It's see, man. I don't know, bro. Pep Guardiola, I give him a 0 for this. He goofed. He totally goofed this one. Yeah, So Pep Guardiola, you take that L. And see, Ryan, we have to go into that FA Cup and show these guys who's boss. Just before we go into the analysis of that one, just look at this comment from Daniel. Big ups, Daniel. I think maybe I met him from Instagram or so, because I think I have lots of new people from Instagram. Big ups to you, Daniel Emmanuel. Just look at this comment, Ryan. Anyone who doesn't take this Arsenal team serious must obviously be sleeping on the bicycle, mate. What do you think? Give a response to our big friend, Daniel Emmanuel 1738. Big ups to you. Poo, 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 poo. What do you have to
Yeah,
say to this, Ryan?
100%. If you're not taking us seriously now, then God help you, because if you were the person building the team up to play us and you're not taking us seriously, you're in for a shock. You're in for a world of hurt. So, but yeah, anyone that's not taking us seriously needs to wake the something up, because we are definitely serious title contenders, serious title winners. It is what it is. Take us seriously.
It is what it is, right? Good.
But
Look at this comment from Wilson Uwene. We'll go to you, Ryan. But look at this comment from Wilson Uwene. Yeah, I cannot understand why Gary Navarre is so bitter. Arsenal, because he is running scared and is putting us down. See, Ryan, this is also another important thing I want you to talk about. Gary Neville is all over is all over media talking crap about Arsenal Football Club. He doesn't believe. He's not a believer. I'll reiterate this. It's part of the matrix, that old system, and that system that's designed to, to pull us down. But what do you have to say about this guy, Gary Neville, and his antics all over social media, putting Arsenal down and bringing disrepute to Arsenal Football Club?
I don't know. He's very biased towards United, so he's pipping them above us. I mean, at the beginning of the season, when United was struggling, he was putting Man City above us, and he still is now. To be honest, he's still putting City at the top, and I can't complain about that, because City have won the league twice on the bounce. This could be the third time they're aiming for. They've got great squad depth. They've got Guardiola, exactly, etc., etc., etc. So to put City above us, I can't complain against it. But to put United above us when they're below us by about 10 or 11 points, we've just beat them. They beat us, and then we've beat them. But the fact we're 11 points clear of them, so to have some kind of premonition that they will jump, that we drop 11 points,
just like that.
That's what we have to do. We have to drop 11 points. If we lose both games against City, we drop 6 points. I mean, that's not. It doesn't take a genius to work that out, but it's a fact. We only drop 6. So where's the other 5 coming from?
Where's the other 5 coming from?
Yeah, and the main fact of that is that we're not going to drop 6 points against Man City. We're going to beat them at the Emirates, and we'll
probably get a draw.
See what happens at the
Etihad, right?
Hope for a draw. I really do hope for a draw, but it's a big game and it's a massive place to go. So we'll see what happens. But we will beat them at the Emirates, and that will be 3 points. So we won't drop 6. The only other fixture not the only other fixture. There's still some big games. But the other team to worry about is Newcastle. And the fact that Gary Neville puts United above us is also a massive discredit to Newcastle, because Man United probably won't finish above them. If Man United get 4th, I think that's a very good season for them. The Newcastle fans must be screaming about that even more than us. But the fact you can say that they'll jump 11 points is a crazy prediction. Like we said, if it does come true, we might have to just call him the GOAT pundit, because he's a magician. That he's obviously a psychic. He gets these premonitions that come, but it's mad. But it's just because he's biased, and I just don't think he wants us. I mean, he doesn't want us to win it. Mainly because of all the stick he's given Arteta in the past.
He's given Arteta in the past, right?
That's it. It's just going to make his past predictions make him look like a fool. But at the end of the day, we all know he's a fool anyway. So it's not going to change our opinion on him.
No, he's a stereotypical, agent of the Matrix. It's part of that old system. He is the goddamn Matrix. But it's okay. We'll just allow them to keep talking while we keep sipping pino coladas and and champagnes or whatever and drinking their tears. I don't care.
So before we jump to the FA, before we jump to the FA Cup, we've missed one player out, and we spend most of the shows talking about him. We spend we pretty much from the first show up to now, and every other Arsenal fan just talk about him constant. The performances every week from Bukayo Saka, just every time he plays is, for a lad of his age and what he overcame at the World Cup. Actually, we've discussed this all the time, but I feel like we just need to discuss it all the time because he's an absolute revelation. Absolute revelation. He's one of, in my opinion, he's one of the best wingers in world football at the minute. The goal he scored against United was class. To score that goal in that game at his age, and like I said, after what he overcome out of the World Cup, for the Arsenal fans, we rallied round him and we showed him the love, and his performances, not just the United game, every single week, he just really establishes himself as my favourite player at the minute. I think everyone else's nearly favourite player. And if he hopefully signs the thing that we're worried about, and if he goes on to play for Arsenal for another few, he could be, Bukayo Saka could be every Arsenal fan's favourite player ever. I feel like he could get above Henry, and for me, Birdcamp, but Henry for most other people and all them players, he could go above them because that's just the trajectory that he looks like he's on. Just what, and
you know what,
massive,
Ryan,
massive.
It's very, very massive. And you know what, he replicated Ljungberg's record for scoring in 3 consecutive matches against Manchester United. So Saka has scored in 3 consecutive. See, Ryan, you know what? I got all these stats in my arsenal. You know that, man. I shoot out stats like a rotisserie chicken. It's everywhere in my head.
I think
it's
Henry's
bubbling,
done
man.
That as well. I think Henry's done that as well. He scored in 3 consecutive games.
Even Henry,
exactly. I think Saka's now only the 3rd player or something like that to do it.
Yeah. But he did it anyway. He did it.
Amazing player.
He did it anyway. But again, Ryan, scoring back to back against Manchester United, your biggest rivals. See, Spurs are not my rivals. Those guys don't win anything. Of course, we have a sports fan here who is my friend also. Has Sport TV. Big ups to you. He says big up, mate. Big ups has Sport TV. I love you, man. But I have to take a pop at your team right now. And big ups to Football Band. The big guy. These guys, they come here to support me. I see you in the chat, my brother. Spurs, they don't win anything. They are not my rivals. Of course, we can be rivals in London or whatever, but they are not my rivals. They don't win anything. My rivals is Manchester United and now in City. So I'm that Ayana that's going for the big lion himself. I will cut their heads off this season. But you know what, Well, let me don't go into, there was something I wanted to say. Let me don't cut you off, Ryan. There was something I wanted to say before I cut you off.
No, I think I'm not sure. I think that was just mainly about the Saka stuff, but just move on, man. Move on.
Yeah. So Saka scoring in 3 consecutive matches against Manchester United. That's big. That's huge. As young as he is, scoring all these goals, mauling these teams. See, that guy deserves a title. He deserves a title. And look at the bigger picture out of the whole thing, Ryan. The bigger picture in all this is that these guys haven't signed their contract yet. But you know what? They're looking at the transfer window. They're looking at the players we're bringing in. Trossard just came in. These are legitimate, guys that would go to other teams and be big in that team. Bringing in these guys, they've seen that we've just brought in a defender from Spezia. of course, Jakub Kiwior, who has a twerking queen as his girlfriend or so. So I don't know. Many guys have been going on YouTube and Instagram just
I
to
don't know.
have a
I
peep
don't know
show.
what.
I
I
don't
don't
know
know
if
what you're
you're among
talking
those
about.
guys,
I
but
don't know what you're talking about.
of
Don't
course
know.
you're gonna
I'm
deny
not.
it.
I don't know. I don't know what
You
you're
have
talking
a
about.
wife at home. You're gonna deny it.
Don't know what. No, never,
But you
never.
know what? Yeah,
Because
I've
what's
not
she
gone
called
for a
again?
peep show.
No, not a clue. Not a clue. Not a clue.
See, Ryan, see, even if you've not gone for a peep show, but many other guys have gone for a peep show. And you know what? Well, what they're saying, they said that lady can't twerk. But you know what? Yeah, we're not all about the twerking and all the shenanigans going on. Yeah, but her man is going to be playing for Arsenal Football Club. He signed for the club, I think, on Monday, and he finalized everything and was unveiled on Tuesday. Of course, Jakub Kiwior. See, this guy is a genuine killer in that defense. He's Polish international. He's had 9 caps for Poland. He played in the World Cup, played in all 4 games. That's how good and respected this guy has become in that Polish team. He's a legitimate guy. Okay, good and okay. For Spezia, this guy plays as a left-sided centre-back in a back 4 pairing. That's how good this guy is. And mind you, why I said it's good is that left-sided centre backs, Ryan, it's very difficult before you find left-sided centre backs in the whole of Europe. They're very, very sought after. They're the most sought after kind of defenders in a back 4 in the whole of Europe, in the whole of Brazil. Everywhere you go to, they are all sorting for left-sided centre backs. And you know what? This is the big story. This guy doesn't just play as a centre back, he also doubles as a central defensive midfielder. So you know what? All those talks of Thomas Partey getting injured, we have someone that we could just bring from the bench, and it slots right in to that CDM into that CDM slot. It's simple, Ryan.
That was
It's
like
simple.
that was like you was doing a jigsaw puzzle and you had that final little piece and you was that went nicely in. Went nicely in.
Coca-Cola. Ryan, it's easy. It's simple, And again, DeclanRice is twerking for Arsenal, twerking for that Arsenal move. See, Real Madrid came in with a contract earlier this week for DeclanRice. He rejected Real Madrid. He said he's already given his word to mikelarteta. See, just go to Google, yeah? Go to Google. Just type DeclanRice and mikelarteta. The first picture that will come out, or in the first 10, 20 pictures uh, that will pop up your screen, is a picture where mikelarteta is having a kind of like a one-on-one talk with this guy, and he's hugging him after the game against West Ham. I don't know if they were, I don't know, but I kind of look I don't know. It looks tasty in a way if other people do something like that. But 2 of them were just like I don't know. They were just talking so closely and they kind of like hogged or whatever. But you know what? Whatever they're doing, that's okay for them. But DeclanRice has been sold to this project. And you know what? It takes something extra before you can tell Real Madrid no. It takes something extra before you can tell Chelsea no. It's a matter of time. In the summer, this guy is coming. He's bought into the project of mikelarteta. What do you say, Ryan?
Well, if all that is true, it is nothing but positive. He's a absolute quality player. Yeah, he just will slot straight in. He will fit straight in, and yeah, it's just the perfect signing. But I'll say, I feel like if for some reason we didn't get him, I feel like if he ended up last minutes going to Chelsea because of it, that's his boyhood club and all that jazz. If that happened, we've got 2 other signings that we can make. I feel that will slot straight in. The Onana from Everton looks like a nice connection, and Caicedo from Brighton.
Yeah, Caicedo from Brighton. That's another good guy. But I don't know, why are people overlooking McAllister from Brighton?
I'll tell you right.
People are overlooking this guy, and I'm like, what's going on?
The McAllister one though, like before the World Cup, would you have said sign McAllister? Would you have put him forward for Arsenal? I wouldn't have done. I know that. I feel like his form was okay, but I wasn't screaming to go out and get McAllister. And I said in one of the shows before December, in December, before the World Cup, I said in one of the shows that the January transfer window is going to be different because it's after a World Cup, and some players have had a good World Cup. They're going to be snapped up. A lot of them players fail. Do you know what I mean? They perform massively well at the World Cups for the country, and then they get signed up by a big team. They get a big move, and it doesn't always work out. McAllister possibly could be one of them, but I don't think for the position that we need, McAllister's not that player. We need a Partey sub, and I don't feel like McAllister's the one. Your DeclanRice, your Onana, your Caicedos, those are the Partey kind of players. McAllister seems like an Odegaard player, and we've got Odegaard, we've got Vieira, we've got Smith Rowe, Trossard can play as a second striker. Yeah. McAllister or Mac Allister, is it? He's supposed to say Mac Allister. I heard the other day, Mac Allister. I think he's making that up. To be honest, I mean I don't know. So we'll
is the name too posh?
No, the name's too English. Like
it's too English, right?
I've seen him lining up for Argentina. Looking at the list, between Di Maria and Lionel Messi was McAllister. So who's that guy? Who's it?
Ryan.
Who's he?
Don't allow the woke mob to come after you, because you know we're in a woke generation now. So
it's just one of them names that I thought an Englishman has stuck on to the Argentina plane. He's done 4 kick-ups and they've let him join in, and then he ends up being an absolute barnstormer and having great performances. Exactly. But yeah, he's not one of them players that I would
Alexander Bello is a new subscriber. Big ups to you, Alexander Bello. One love to you, my brother. Big ups. Yeah, Ryan, you were saying something.
Like I was saying, he's just not one of the players that I would jump on. Yeah, he's had a good World Cup, but how highly was we rating him beforehand? If teams were scouting him beforehand and had a good opinion on him, fair enough. Yeah, go and make that signing. But coming straight after his country's won the World Cup, his valuation has gone massive. It's going to have gone sky high, especially with the money Chelsea's throwing at players nowadays as well. So it's going to be overpriced, underperformed. A bit harsh saying underperformed, but you know what I mean. He might not perform. So yeah, go out and get players of the same stature.
But are you okay? Are you okay with DeclanRice coming in the summer?
Yeah, I'm
it's
more
all
than
set
okay
for
with
him
that.
to come in the summer. He loves Arsenal. He wants to come to Arsenal. And again, see, this guy wants to come to Arsenal. When I saw the connection between him and mikelarteta, just too close for my liking.
Yeah,
too close for my liking.
I'll be more than okay with DeclanRice coming in. From what we're hearing, he's been saying that we coach very well. He's been putting his admiration forward for the coach. He even did it in public after one of the games. He talked about
exactly. What else? What else do you need?
It just plays in the back of my mind that he's a Chelsea academy player, and he might want to go back to his own club. But hopefully he'll look.
But again, who wants to go to that mess?
Well,
again, who wants to go to that mess? Who wants to go to Chelsea? Who wants to go to that mess now?
He's not a winger. He's not a winger. So Chelsea aren't going to want to sign him. They only sign wingers at the minute for some reason. They've signed about 6 in the past 2 hours. if you want to be a winger, you go
Ryan
for
is cocaine.
If you want to be a winger, Chelsea will snap me straight up. A defensive midfielder, someone to fix some of their issues. I don't know if they'll sign. But like I said, I feel like his heart might make him go to Chelsea. Hopefully not. If we can snap him up, brilliant. But if we don't, like I said, 2 other players we can bring in: Onana from Everton, Moses Caicedo, and then there's a few more, but them 2 players look like they will be great cover. I will certainly slot straight in.
Okay, do you think we've already sorted out our forward lineup already? Do you think we're done in that area? Do you think we're okay to move on without tapping into the market again for any forward players again?
I think so. Yeah. I feel like
we're good to go, right?
I feel like it's sound. The only way I would dip in is if an option becomes available that is really worth the money. What I'm thinking about is the Juventus situation. We all know what's going on at Juventus. Some players might want to jump ship. So any forward players,
I'm hearing of Chiesa this morning.
This is what I'm saying. So there's Chiesa. If that becomes an option for the amount of money that I've heard. Now, I don't know how serious this is, but I've heard 15 million is ridiculous. That is so cheap for Chiesa. If we could snap him up for anywhere near that, go for it. If there's any way we could get Vlahovic on the cheap, go for it. But like I said, I think, especially with the way Nketiah is performing, I don't see any reason to sign a different striker. Jesus will hopefully be back soon. Balogun will be back in the summer. I pray Balogun comes back in the summer, and we are good to go. I feel like we're there, especially on the forward front.
Ryan, Manchester City on Friday. What I can see your eyes tweaking, bro. It's Man City, man. Come on, bro.
It's
the boogie team that we've been fearing is here.
Well, this is it. Man City is everyone's bogey team pretty much. They pretty much steamroll everyone. Apart from, for some reason, they seem to struggle against Spurs. I don't know what that is. Obviously, they managed to get the victory against them, but 2 goals down from them. They lost. I think they lost twice against them last season. So, but pretty much everyone else they can turn over. So it's going to be a big game. But it shows you where we are now, because we're not. It's not the game that we're walking into, and everyone's saying we're going to get battered 3-0, 4-0, 5-0. People are saying it's going to be close, and I mean, rival fans, pundits alike, and anyone from the outside looking in, not just our fans, they all think it's going to be close. And to say we're going to have a close game against Man City is just a positive again. But we need to see what teams are out, because I feel is
the FA Cup a free hit on Friday?
I think so, because I'm not too bothered about it. I've said in the past, I'm not too bothered about the FA Cup. You don't get enough money for winning it, right? You get about I'm not sure. It's about 100 grand or something stupid. You get or something like that. You get nothing for winning it, pretty much. So in money terms, and then in terms of European competitions, you don't get anything for it. You get Europa League.
That's a very important title for Arsenal. Arsenal are the leaders of winning the FA Cup. It's part of English history, and again, it's the oldest cup
at the minute.
Ever. So, and again, it's a trophy at the end of the day, right?
It is, but at the minute for us, there's a lot more at stake. There's a lot more important stuff at stake for us. There's
a bigger fish to fry.
League's at stake.
Bigger picture.
The Premier League's at stake in the positions we finished there, and the Europa League is at stake. If you win the Europa League, you get qualification. You get to go in the qualification for the Champions League, and everyone knows that. You don't get that with the FA Cup. So for me, I would push Europa League above the FA Cup. But in terms of our Premier League performances, we're going to get Champions League anyway. But again, the Europa League, it's a bigger money competition. You get more money for it. You get the qualification Champions League. I would just push. For me, Premier League and Europa League is what we should push. But saying that, I feel like it'd be good to get a victory or a good performance against City. But it all just depends on the squads. How weak are we going to go on the squad? Is he going to rest? I suspect he's going to rest Partey, maybe, bring in either Lokonga. It doesn't look like an El Nenny's available. Apparently, he's suffering with an injury, so we're not going to have Mo. So I feel like it could be a Lokonga kind of game, and we'll just have to see where it goes from there. But
I actually think I think it's time we can bring in and test Kiwior down there in the central defensive midfield slot. I don't want to see Lokonga there.
I wouldn't bring Kiwior in for this game. His first game away at the Etihad in Man City. It's a big task for him. But it's all up to the manager.
Well, he's a professional, right? This guy's played in the World Cup with Centurions.
It's true.
Centurions and Hyannis. So who's Man City to trouble him?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Who's Man City? Who are they?
Who's Man City? He's been in a place with he's dined with the Sharks. He's been with the Hyenas and the Lions and the Lionesses. He's been there with them in the highest and the biggest of all stages at the World Cup. And of course, he's been playing for Spezia. That's another thing. Spezia in Italy, of course, it's not the biggest Italian team out there. But mind you, Italian football is crazy football. It could be slow, it could be sluggish. But trust me, they have very, very serious and strong players and physical players out there. So if you can play those roles in a tough league like the Italian league, what's the English league? I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking this.
I always think good defenders can come from the Italian league. It's one of them leagues where defending's pretty strong. It's
only if you're not Koulibaly anyway.
I knew you'd say that. Well, in that league, he performed very well, and this Kiwior, he's come from that league. He's played well there, like you said. Polish international. I would wonder if he's a left-sided centre-back. A question for you. Do you feel he could be a replacement for Saliba?
That's a big one, because Saliba is not signing his contract.
This is it.
Now that's a big one. It's a big one. But in any case, by bringing a player so that you can shoulder cushion most of the effect in case he leaves, because you never know, what's going on. But let's see what's gonna happen. Saliba is actually refusing to sign that contract. But again, things can change. If this Arsenal team go on to win the title, these players will want to stay.
Hopefully.
Yeah, they would want to stay.
Like you say,
Bukayo Saka right now doesn't want to sign a deal. If we genuinely go for this title and we win it on all fronts, they will have a different idea. Because once they see people like DeclanRice, Trossard trying to come into this team, of course they will question. They will say, you know what, why am I going outside of this team when I will get the money? I get to stay in a club that loves me and wants me to play. Easy peasy, right?
Hopefully. I mean, like you say, I like
the sigh you gave there before you.
Even if we win the league, PSG come in for Saliba, throwing all the oil money at him. Like I say, Rashford, that could turn him. I don't know any other team that Saka would go to, though. If we are up there winning leagues and fighting on all fronts, the perfect place for Saka is an Arsenal lad. Do you know what I mean? So I'd be surprised to see Saka leave. I really would, but especially at the minute. But the types of Saliba, with him being French, PSG come in for him, throwing money at him. There's a good chance he could jump ship. So I feel possibly, I'm just wondering, is this left-sided centre-back Saliba replacement? It could very well be. We'll just have to see how it all turns out.
Yeah, we'll just have to see how that turns out, right? King's Football. When are we going to have a show together, my brother? Big up to you, man. Long time. Hope you're okay. And are you back to Europe yet? Yeah. Big up to you, King's Football Show. He says Gary Neville is jealous and scared. Saka at 21 is already the best winger in Premier League. In the Premier League, his mentality is different. He has scored against all big six teams in recent times. See,
Tony,
do you agree with that, Ryan? Do you agree with that?
Tony, the King Football Show, is he an Arsenal fan or?
He's an Arsenal fan, yeah.
Right, okay. I just because of the statement about Saka being the best winger, I was really hoping.
Yeah, that's the question I wanted to ask you. Do you see, without bias, Ryan? Do you think he's the best right now in the Premier League? Is he the best?
If we didn't have Saka and we had the chance to sign Saka along with the other wingers in the league, Saka would be the one that I would sign because of his performances and the way he plays, and being 21, he is definitely the player that I would sign. Other players are close, but he's definitely. I don't want anyone else on our right wing other than Bukayo Saka, and that is just it. And I don't mean Tony. I don't mean Premier League, man. I don't mean Premier League. I mean French League, Spanish League, German, Dutch, Mexico, Brazil,
guys,
any
he's
other
stirring the
I don't
pot
want
again,
anyone else
man.
apart from Bukayo Saka.
Cocaine.
I don't want any other winger from any league.
Ryan is my man,
man.
I love you to death, my brother. I love you to death, bro. See, right? I love you to death, man. See, yeah. See, I have no argument on with that. Deji Sports came out here, of course. I'll be having another one with Deji Sports tomorrow again. He'll be coming to mouth off because for some reason Tottenham Hotspur got a win yesterday. So he might be coming here to mouth off tomorrow.
Who was that against?
Yeah,
who was
they
that
got
against?
a win against Fulham.
Yeah, exactly.
Harry
That's
Kane.
my point. Yeah, exactly.
Harry Kane.
Yeah, nice
Harry
one.
Kane.
Well done.
Well done. So, my ears might just bust tomorrow because Deji Sports will start wasking.
Yeah, Spurs are going to win the Champions League.
Lyrical tomorroh just because of that win.
Spurs will be winning the Champions League because they beat Fulham. That's what it'll be.
Exactly.
That's what it'll be.
Exactly. So I have to get ready for that one. I have to chop him up proper. And again, Deji Sports was comparing Saka to Kulusevski. He said that Kulusevski is better than Saka. And I was like, what alternative reality does Deji Sports live in?
In what world is...
Bro, I don't understand, man.
Right.
So tomorrow I get to talk to him.
Tony.
Again.
Tony, the best thing about that statement for me, right, is that Kulusevski is still only on loan at Tottenham, right? So he could leave Spurs in the summer. So if Kulusevski left Spurs in the summer and I don't know, signed for what team does he support? Oh yeah, Arsenal. Yeah, he's an Arsenal fan. So if in the summer Kulusevski came to Arsenal, I wonder if Richarlison would then be better than Kulusevski in Deji Sports.
He'll move the goalpost.
No one else other than a Spurs fan would ever say that, and most Spurs fans wouldn't say that. That's not hiding from the fact that Kulusevski is a good player, but he's
a good player. I even told Deji, I said, hey, Deji, you know what? Yeah. Kulusevski, I give it up for him. I genuinely like Kulusevski. He's a good player, He's that kind of player you could bring from the bench and say, you know what? To, give your own input into the team, bring something special, and he'll bring it out for you. But to compare him with Saka, That's a stretch.
No.
What's your
It's not
prediction
happening.
for that match with Man City? Where do you think the key battle will be at?
That's a tough one because we'd have to see you need to know the teams. I don't know if they're going to go weak or they're going to go strong. I don't. If obviously City could play Haaland, and then the key battle is Haaland and Gabriel. Obviously, there's the De Bruyne and Odegaard if they were both playing. I can't see them both playing because I think we're going to be rested.
But do you think they want to come hard in this game? Like, do you see it? Do you think Pep Guardiola would say, you know what, yeah, this is a game that I want to use to play into the psyche of this Arsenal squad. If we win this match today, psychologically, we've taken the advantage over them. They know they would lose the next two games against us because psychologically, we've beaten them in the FA Cup. What do you think? And you trust Pep Guardiola. He thinks like that. He's that much a tactician.
Yeah. I mean, it's something I thought about. So if I don't, how do you put it? So if we then made full scale changes and rested most of the team, you could put it down to the fact that it was an inexperienced team. But in doing that, then are you saying, well, why did you drop everyone else? Is that because you thought your first team would lose, or because they was too tired, or this? It still brings a lot more questions. If you're resting all the players, you can blame it on that. But was you hiding? I think for me, it'd be good to just see both teams just go for strong, go for broken, because it might only be FA Cup, but it's still first v second in the actual league. So the team that wins the wins that game, you're looking at to be the better team. The team with the better chance in the actual league when it comes down to it. So you'd feel like they'd go strong. It's a tricky one. I feel like any other opponent in the FA Cup would be resting players. But it's like you're saying, it's Man City. It's the fact
it's
that
Man City. I don't think they will want to rest.
You're going to say whoever wins it have got the upper hand, maybe mentally, psychologically, and it's a tough one. It's a tough one to predict.
But again, do you think Man City have players to rest? Their whole goddamn second team is a big squad on its own. You start seeing Mahrez coming, Bernardo Silva playing. You start seeing Gondowan playing. Bro, they don't have no second string team. Let's don't fool ourselves. They're coming with
exactly.
That's what they're coming with, yeah. Because if we think building on the teens and on the 18th, I'm sorry, Ryan, we're deceiving ourselves. These guys are coming to play. They're coming to take our heads off. Right.
It's true. I mean, the main difference at the minute between Mikel and Pep is money, and the fact that Pep's had a lot more money is being able to throw millions and millions at completely rebuilding the squad. We've had to do it on the cheaper way. So that's why we've still not rebuilt, in the fact that we've not got the full strength bench to what I expect Mikel would want. So, but obviously Pep's had longer and he's had more money and he's built that big squad. Basically, they've got two teams, and they've got, if they rest their full team, they could bring in a second team that could be equally just as good. But that's no reflection on us. It's just because we've not got Man City's money. It doesn't make us any worse off. We will just have to just go as we usually would. If we need to rest players, rest them, and just see how the younger ones bring in. But like you say, we've got the Kirill lad. If he can come in and replace Tate, if he can
let him come in and replace Tate. Yeah. See, Ryan, I want it to be a full. I want to be a full squad. I wanted to go at it, because if we do go there and lose against this guy, it will psych his team. They will have that belief that Arsenal might be pretenders, and I don't want them to have that belief, because Man City is a team that if you continue, see, yeah, it's just like feeding the beast. If you continue feeding the beast with, with lots of food, he'll get so big and strengthened enough to come and eat you and your family. So you don't strengthen the beast in this case. You make the beast to get hungry. Let him look for food and look for hyenas and lions to eat. And when he doesn't, find that good meal to eat, his stomach will dry up. He'll be weak. I'm sorry, my innuendos and I know they're very annoying.
Tony, you've mentioned hyenas, I think 4 times today. Have you been watching Discovery Channel this week? Have you been smashing the Discovery Channel?
Exactly.
Tony's going all David Attenborough on us. It's great to see. It's great to
Big
see.
ups to Christmas. This guy, he says here, Onana, Everton, centre mid would be nice party backup. Love that Zubimendi wants Arsenal over Baka. We're back where we belong. It's true. It's true. See, Ryan, I've been hearing of this Zubimendi guy.
I don't know if that's true. If that's true, then that's massive.
No, it's been in the rumor mills, but
yeah, it's rumors, isn't it? It's rumors. I mean, if it's true, then great stuff. But I'm not sure if that is. But we'll see. I don't know much about him though. Like, what was you saying? Do you know much about him? I'm not sure. Not as clued up.
He's just one of those. He's a good player, but again, all this YouTube, I don't trust all these YouTube compilations. Yeah, until you come in and play in the Premiership, I don't trust all these YouTube compilations, because these YouTube compilations have a way of of distorting reality. So I call most of all those makeup videos a distortion of reality.
I know.
Look at what happened with Pepe.
I know what you mean.
Complete distortion.
I know what you mean, and the best example of that is if you watch an Olivier Giroud compilation of his goals, you will say he's the best player that ever lived. So some of his goals are unreal. But like you goals, say, it might not paint the full picture. If you have 2 clips of a game that someone played, two little clips. The game was for 90 minutes. What did he do for the other 88 minutes? Was he just like, for example, Anthony at United? You might be able to get 1 clip in 1 game that makes him look okay, but then the other 89 minutes he's sat doing nothing on the sideline.
But again, there are lots of people that will argue. There are lots of people that will argue with you. It's a World Cup winner, multiple trophies with Chelsea Football Club, including Premiership titles, including Champions League, including an European UEFA title or so.
No. Tony, who are you talking about?
Have you forgotten of Olivier Giroud?
Oh yeah, no, but I was talking about Anthony at United. You know, Anthony United.
Oh.
Yeah, I wasn't on about Giroud.
See,
I changed.
Gary Neville wants him out already.
Well, this is what I mean. Like, if you could have a clip,
this guy's Anthony.
You could have a clip of Anthony doing one skill in the game. It might make him look good. You might make him look good by doing 1 clip of a skill he's done in a game, but then for the other 89 minutes he does nothing. So that compilation, I thought it was
Olivier Giroud you were talking about.
Yeah. No, Giroud's really sound. I was upset when he left, to be honest. But don't bring that up.
But again, yeah, see, the thing there is that we're in a generation that there's a complete lack of patience with players. I think it's a generational thing. This generation is a generation of impatience. We're not patient.
I agree. Tony,
it's a generation of impatience. See, when Thierry Henry came into the football club, he wasn't banging goals in his first season. He had to adapt to the game.
They spent 100 million on him. They spent 100 million on him, though. 100 million.
I know, but see, that's why they call this the biggest league in the world. This is the greatest. See, it's a Premiership. I shouldn't tell you about it. You know this on your own, Ryan. It's the biggest league in the world. And of course, it is that for a reason, because it's the biggest. That's the reason. It's the biggest. So when you come into the biggest league in the world, you have to leave all those antics, that you cultivated in the Farmers League and play in the best league in the world. And in doing that, you have to adapt. You have to articulate properly. You have to merge with the culture and how your team wants to play, and you have to give these players time to properly adapt. But with this now, with the generation we have now, completely impatient. These fans are fickle minded. They don't give you any space. They don't give you time. Imagine they're already labeling Nunes, who scored a couple of goals this season, by the way, but to Liverpool fans, it's a flop. They don't even want that guy to even come and play. They want Cody Gakpo there. They don't want this guy to grace the field. They don't want him to play. They've already labeled him a flop. So, and this
Yeah,
is for a season.
I think that was after about 5 games. They were saying that after about 5 games, he never gave him a proper chance.
I'm now making this pronouncement down here for you. You see this guy that we did not buy, this Mudryk dude we did not buy for 100 million?
Yeah.
Give this guy 7 games. That's all I would say. Give him 7 games.
I don't know about 7 games. I don't know about 7 games. He's got 8 years. He's got an 8-year contract at Chelsea.
He got 8 years. Good and okay. But just give him 7 games and wait and see what Chelsea fans will say. Just 7. I'm not asking for too much. Just 7 games. And then you would see the real Chelsea fans, what they really do think. They will call him a waste of space. They will call him, oh, he's not good. He's not scoring goals. See, no patience. They don't want you to adapt.
I mean, he looked good when he came on, though. He looked good when he came on.
But again, that's against. But again, that's a weak Liverpool team. Come on, man. We beat Liverpool this season. Many other Leeds beat Liverpool down there, and Chelsea couldn't do it. So what are we talking about? Chelsea's the pants this season.
Chelsea haven't beat many teams
this season. So what will happen when he goes into Selhurst Park? What will happen when he goes to Newcastle? Those cold, drowsy nights in St. James Park. What will happen when you go down there? And then you meet hard tackling guys down there, real hyenas waiting for you down there. So Ryan, man, it's good to talk it up, but let's wait till 7 games and then you see Chelsea fans coming out of the woodworks and cussing the guy out. It will just take 7 games, trust me. 7. And if he doesn't score and he doesn't get into the groove like he got into the groove, of course, in his first game, it's over. Trust me. It's a generational thing. That's the generation we live in. Impatient. So, but again, the price tag doesn't generally work for you, right? When you come in with that price tag, you have to hit the ground running. That's it.
I mean, I would say that if someone's paying that kind of money, you'd expect them to hit the ground running. But then you've got to look at the scouting system and you've got to look at the club. Like, if you look at Arsenal, we've scouted the hell out of him. We know we had an opinion on what he's worth. So when the other club goes above that, we just say, no, we're not paying it. We'll go out and get the next player that we've scouted. Sure. And then obviously Chelsea will just throw whatever money they can at it. I feel like this one will work for him because he looks like the next Eden Hazard or something. We'll have to see. It's big boots to fill, but I feel like he could be that player. But in terms of the other players, i.e. the other 3 wingers they've signed this season, just throwing money at at teams. Get them scouted. Get an amount that you say they're worth. If the other teams playing hardball, going for more, just say no, walk away, and go for someone else. Go for the next player you've scouted, because you'll have a big scouting range. You'll have a big scouting team. You'll be scouting constantly. You'll have constant players on a list. Hopefully, I know we definitely do, but Chelsea would hope that happens to them too. But it doesn't look like that's what happens. It looks like they just go for whoever we're going for. But you would expect them to have a big scouting setup.
Oh my God. And that's why we're going for Caicedo right now, because I heard that Brighton kind of like rebuffed the advances of Chelsea for Caicedo. They said that they wanted something like £80 million. I think Chelsea were, I think in the bid, I think they were bringing in about 60 something or so. So I don't know how true that is. But I heard that Arsenal is in the mix for that Caicedo signing. But again,
the only reason...
Let's just wait for DeclanRice.
The only reason that Brighton are saying 80 million now is because of the other amounts that Chelsea have been paying. If they weren't paying these stupid amounts and United weren't paying these stupid amounts, they wouldn't be saying it. I feel something like 55 million for a player that cost them 5 million 1 year ago. 5 million it cost them. And now they want, I think 55 million would be a good amount of money for him, and it would be sound.
Even that 55 is too expensive. It's expensive. Caicedo is not worth 55. He's worth 30 million. 2025. But it's not that player.
The transfer market now is broken in England, and this is just what it is.
Thanks to Chelsea and Manchester United. Thanks to them.
Yeah, just throwing the 100 millions, 100 plus whatever, and obviously PSGs as well, but throwing the money at the players, having no FFP to worry about for whatever reason, they'll just crack on with it. And this is what happens if you're throwing 100. If you can throw 100 million on a 20-year-old unproven Ukrainian, then you can afford to pay 80 million for Premier League proven defensive midfielder. And that ruins it for everyone else.
Pay up.
They can't afford that million. They can't afford that money. Yeah, pay up.
You know what? Yeah, I want Arsenal to go down to that Caicedo bidding table and say, you know what? Yeah, we want to bid 90 million for these guys. You know, so that Chelsea will go to 100 million again. I want them to.
That's the best way. That's the best way to do it. Don't bid any money. Don't bid any money. Just ring the papers up, tell them that you've bid 100 million, and then watch Chelsea slapping an 130 million bid. And just
I would do it myself. In fact, I would send a message. I would send a message to Arsenal Football Club, and I would tell them, you know what? Yeah, I want to bump the price of this Caicedo guy. 90 million.
I tell you what, Tony, listen. Tony, listen, we're going to do it. We're going to do it ourselves, right? We'll do it ourselves. I want you to keep straight-faced. Look at the screen. I want you to keep straight-faced, okay?
Right. Yeah, bro.
Hold on. News just in. Breaking news. Arsenal have bid 100 million for Moses Caicedo. This is breaking news, hot off the press.
Breaking news. 100 million
Arsenal
for Caicedo.
100 mil. Moses Caicedo.
Breaking news. And probably Chelsea might go there and bid for him for 120.
So 3, 2, 1. Right. Sound. We'll snip that. We're going to snip that, right? We'll get that on Twitter. We'll get that on Instagram. That will be. We'll get that in there. And then Chelsea fans will see it. The Chelsea owners will see it, and then we'll see their money get bid. We'll snip that, get that on. Breaking news. This just
breaking news. Ryan, banter club of the week, of course. See here, Everton have sacked their manager in Lampard. So this week has been a week that they've been scavenging the whole of the Premiership for a new manager. I heard that they've spoken to Sam Allardyce for that job. Sam Allardyce said, you know what, yeah, there's so much. First of all, they approached Bielsa for that job. Bielsa told them, you know what, yeah, You guys are not up to scratch. You guys need
not fast enough.
speedsters.
Not fast enough. Not got enough pace.
You need some speedsters around, and I don't know. I think he talked his way out of that job. And then, of course, they went to the to the go-to guy when you need, the chewing-gum popping in the dugout. Of course, Sam Allardyce. Who else? Who else do you go to when you want to come out of relegation? Of course, it's Sam Allardyce. So, they've spoken to Sam Allardyce. He might come back with Everton.
I don't feel managers like Sam Allardyce and other certain managers, you don't see them much anymore. But there was a period where people like Allardyce and Alan Pardew and a couple of managers would come into clubs, be rubbish, get sacked, and then get another chance at another Premier League club. They'd go to a club, be absolute rubbish, and then get a chance to go abroad and manage abroad at big clubs and get a chance to manage countries. There was a period of time where, obviously, we'll all know, where Sam Allardyce, I don't want to say it. I try and believe that it was never true and it never happened. I try and believe that it just my imagination. But at one point, Sam Allardyce was the manager of England. Right, get that, scratch that. That's gone. That never happened. But apparently, yeah. I don't. Some managers get too many chances, and Sam Allardyce is one of them. He'll go to Everton, whether they stay up or not, I don't know, and then he'll get sacked at some point and get another chance. Everton, for me, I'd go for Sean Dyche. Sean Dyche getting sacked at Burnley was a joke for me. I feel like he'd be a good manager for Everton. I feel like that'd be the one to go and get. Bielsa probably would be sound as well, but like I said, Sean Dyche for me. I'm surprised he's been out of football for so long. I expect him to jump straight back into management with a different club.
For so long, right?
Yeah, I expect him to jump straight back in.
Sean Dyche is a good manager, although he was unlucky, with his other club. But let's see. I don't know. It's a tough one, yeah. But Sam Allardyce for Everton, I don't think he matches that profile. But let's see. But if I was Everton board, I would keep Lampard and just ride it out to the end. And right now they are putting up the club for sale today. So Everton Football Club is for sale right now. So let's see what's going to happen, Ryan. It's time to go.
Dark days ahead for Everton, I think.
Dark days ahead. And hopefully we're meeting them in the next match. So no, I don't want any coming out of anything, because we're going to meet them next week. No. Ryan, always think of the bigger picture, yeah? Always think of the bigger picture. See, I don't care about all these clubs. All these clubs can burn as far as I'm concerned. I don't really care, because when Arsenal needed favors, all of them were all, they were all trying to sniff points away from us, during the bad times for Arsenal. So I don't really care. They can crash and burn. So I want to meet the most out of shape Everton side, in our next match. So that we can pump them. And I hope we can really pump them with even 6, 7, 8 goals, because we need lots of goals. We're going against the Dragon, Man City. So we need to boost our goal margin up, turn it up a notch a little bit and get lots of goals. But see, Ryan, Banter Club of the Week. It's what we've been waiting for, brother. And Ryan, I'm seeing the job you've been doing with the TikTok. Big ups to you, man. You're just trying to push it up, I don't know, one of these days we have to bump it up and push it up, Of course, you're the one handling it, so more.
Yeah, we just started it to try and push this show. Obviously, it's got the handle, the Ryan and Claude show, so it's only for this. That's all you'll pretty much see. That Arsenal stuff and clips from the show is what I'll aim to put on. Being a bit slow on it, but we'll get there, and we will get there. But in terms of Banter Club of the Week, I've gone for 2 clubs this week. Banter Club of the Week. Basically because they played each other, and I expected they played each other. One team, a team needed to win that game just to get some positives with the fans, just to turn the fans over. And for me, not one team went for it. It was pretty drab, and I feel like obviously you never get any time back, but it's a popular saying. That's an hour and a half of my life that I'll never get back. It's one of them kind of comments, and it was that game. I walked into it expecting end-to-end action, couple of goals, great performances, just a confidence-boosting win for one of the teams. But I got none of it. It was rubbish. They both didn't look like winning. They both didn't look like they would mount any kind of challenge for maybe.
It was boring.
But top
it was
four,
game.
Both teams didn't look like they was even aiming for top four. So this week, our banter clubs of the week are Liverpool and Chelsea, as always, pretty much.
See, Ryan, you've said it all. Banter club of the week. Liverpool, Chelsea. I totally agree. That was a drab game. In fact, it was shocking. It was that shocking that I was having a watch along for that game. That the guy who me and him were handling the show, Strasbourg Steve, he left for another show. He had to leave to go do his own watch along for
I
the
don't
German
blame
league.
him, man. I don't
That's
blame
how
him, man.
bad that game was. It was disturbing for English football, that game, because that fixture, usually it's something very, very interesting. Everyone used to, make sure, they have an eye on that game every year, every season. But
the game should have been like the Arsenal and United game. It should have been end to end with chances, goals. Do you know what I mean? It should have been. The game should have been like that Harry Kane speech. Chances, games, goals, go. It should have been like that. They should have been up for it, but they weren't, were they? They just didn't want. I don't know what it was. Were they both scared? Both teams scared? I don't know. They just didn't go for it at all.
Disastrous. All right, brother. Ryan, Liverpool Chelsea Banter Club of the Week. Here we go. See, Ryan, we have to win that match against Man City. We have to win that match. I'll be calling for a post-game show after that match. Hopefully, I pray that you'll be here with me and Wilson Uwene. I think you've done a show with Wilson, right?
Yeah, Wilson was on the show last week. Big up, Wilson, mate.
Yeah, last week. Yeah. So he'll be joining us for that one. So hopefully you'll be there with me and him, so that we can chop up the game and talk about what would happen in that game after that match finishes, or maybe the next day. It depends, but probably I will. Let's see what happens anyway. I'll reach out to you if it's something close to what you can work with. So I'll send you an invite. All right, Ryan, big up to you, man. Next week it will be episode 16. Man, it's growing, man. Episode 15. Can you believe it, brother?
15, 16.
Me and you, 15 weeks. Oof. Man. Man, that's massive, man.
We're gonna be family members soon, never mind.
I'm telling you, brother. I'm telling you, man. Me and you have spent 15 episodes in the ring together, boxing and fighting these enemies of ours. Probably one day, we're going to taste victory, and victory can only taste good at the end of the season by May, when we lift the trophy. And I'll come back to England, and then I would, come and look for you, Ryan, and drag you to the road show that we'll be having down there in England, in London.
I
have to drag you down there.
a live show, same studio, and same camera would be the one.
I'm telling you, to be wonderful, and definitely I'll come look for you wherever you are, and just come chop it up with you and chop it up with your family also. It'd be nice to see the missus and the kids too, and everyone, and break bread with everyone and enjoy the time, and just have a good time with you and your family. Hey, Ryan, big ups to you, and thank you very much for joining the show today. Of course, big ups to you, and you can close the show for us.
Yeah, big ups, Tony, and everyone that has watched, got involved, joined in, all the comments, questions. We massively appreciate everyone watching. As we always say, if you've not already done, like and subscribe. Jump along onto the hype train, because we ain't stopping yet.
Yeah, big ups, and
God bless
catch you soon.
everyone for watching.
God bless everyone. Big ups, everyone. Thanks.